Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Astrology News Report, an alternate view of world events as seen through the lens of Vedic astrology. I'm Ron Berger. Today is March 1st, 2020. In this segment, we'll take a look at what's happening in the Zodiac for March 2020, where the planets are, where they are going, and what sorts of events to expect. But before we begin, a note to all viewers. I do enjoy sharing my knowledge of Vedic astrology, but it does take a lot of time to produce these videos each week, and I do live in the real world. Therefore, this channel has moved to a paid subscription model. If you would like to have access to this month's weekly reports, stick around for the link at the end of this video to make your donation. Thanks. First up, we have the situation with Venus, which changed signs at the end of February, leaving sidereal Pisces and entering Aries. This puts the planet of romance, pleasure, art, and young females in the proactive sign of the pioneer. Venus in Aries is passionate, ready for action, ready for love. While in Aries, Venus will join forces with Uranus. The planet of romance and pleasure combines with the planet of freedom, rebellion, unexpected events, and inspiration. There's potential for sudden unexpected love, or sudden need for freedom. In other words, a breakup. Venus, the planet of relationship, plus Uranus's taste for the unconventional, in Aries, the sign of the pioneer, can result in unconventional romance. Maybe a more charitable interpretation would be an exciting new romance. Venus is the significator of advice and advisors. Combined with Uranus, the planet of inspiration, it can result in some insightful new advice. But Venus, as the planet of finance, plus Uranus, planet of unexpected events, causes volatility in financial markets. The exact conjunction of Venus and Uranus is on March 8th. Venus is in Aries for most of March. Venus will change signs and enter Taurus, its own sign, on March 28th. Venus in its own sign will be a calmer, more stable Venus. Mercury began a retrograde period in mid-February. Mercury retrograde periods last for 3 weeks. This one will be ending on March 9th. After its retrograde, the planet of communications and information will slowly return to normal forward motion, and its significations will likewise slowly return to normal. Mercury remains in Aquarius for the rest of March. That's the planet of ideas and reasons in the sign of the social humanitarian, the social revolutionary. Mercury is the planet of the media. Aquarius is the sign of fixed ideas and opinions. The result is the social revolutionary types cling even more tightly to their ideology. Note, too, that simultaneously Venus, the planet of love, is combined with Uranus, the planet of rebels and revolution. Mercury is going to take its time getting out of Aquarius. The planet of ideas and reasons will be in the sign of the social revolutionary all through this month and into April. It doesn't change signs until April 7th, when it will enter Pisces, the sign of hope and faith. At the end of February, Pluto changed signs, entering sidereal Capricorn. Pluto moves with glacial speed, but now, a week later, we can say it is definitely in Capricorn. Since Pluto changes signs only after spending as much as a couple of decades in one sign, this is a fairly big deal. Pluto now combines its significations with a new sign, Capricorn, for the next 20 years. Pluto is the planet of regeneration and rebirth, but since rebirth only happens after death, Pluto also signifies collapse and obliteration. And this is happening in Capricorn, the manager sign of the zodiac. So, new management is coming, but only after a period of breakdown. Note that Pluto is combining with Saturn, which also recently entered Capricorn in January. Pluto, the planet of collapse and mass events, joins forces with Saturn, the planet of control, the planet of order, the planet of the establishment. This combination can trigger another signification of Pluto. It's the planet of dictatorial power. So, this is sounding even more like something big, a major event or situation that overwhelms everything. And that's not all. Starting on March 22nd, Mars joins in. The planet of action and force changes signs, entering Capricorn, and immediately combines with Pluto. Actually, let's back up for a minute. Before Mars changes signs and enters Capricorn, it will be conjunct Jupiter at the end of Sagittarius. That's the planet of action and force, combining with the planet of belief, laws, and courts. So, looks like there will be some court actions happening in the third week of March. Then, after the court actions, we get enforcement. That's Mars plus Saturn, and a dose of Pluto for good measure. With Pluto we get mass events. Mars contributes force. Mars combined with Pluto can add up to some serious, no-nonsense, heavy-duty events. It's also the planet of action, plus Pluto's potential for obliteration. Pluto and Mars is an energy pattern that implies large-scale, drastic actions. You know, like apocalypse-type stuff. And then there's Saturn, the reality check planet, the planet of order. Saturn is the control factor, and this is in the sign Capricorn, the manager sign of the zodiac. Add it all together and we get extreme management. At the very end of the month, on March 31st, Mars will be exactly conjunct Saturn at 6 degrees sidereal Capricorn. But we'll be noticing the effects before then. Also, that's when Jupiter comes into Capricorn. I'll have more to say about that in an upcoming report. So this starts to sound like some seriously oppressive draconian measures are in store for everybody because of, guess what? From the sounds of where things are going now at the beginning of March, it's the response to the coronavirus epidemic, which by the end of March could be a pandemic. Every establishment, from federal government agencies to companies to local municipalities, will be jumping in to keep things from getting out of hand. The whole world already saw the first act of this play in China, where the established order, in other words the Chinese central government, after the initial stage of denial, had to jump in and quarantine literally millions of people. So, looking at where things are going in the zodiac, the planetary patterns are indicating severe, relentless, restrictive actions coming for everybody by the end of this month. Okay, so that's a brief look at planetary patterns and predictions for March 2020. And now a reminder, you have been watching Astrology News Reports once a month, free public video. If you would like to see the next 4 weekly reports, donate $20 by clicking on or touching the donation card you see at the end of this video, which will take you to the donation page. If $20 for a month is too much for you, you can donate $10. The link to each week's report will be sent to you via your email. Here's a description of what's coming up for this month's videos. March 8th, details of Pluto with Mars and Saturn in Capricorn. March 15th, analysis of Mars and Capricorn for your rising sign chart. March 22nd, planetary patterns connected to world events and politics for March 2020. March 29th, preview of planetary patterns and predictions for April 2020. You'll not want to miss out on all these great upcoming videos, so here's the link for your donation. Just click or touch the card, which will take you to the donation page. Thank you, and until next week.